back to Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. Last time we left off, we had Nagito Komaeda's absolutely brutal. But we did the investigation, and then we did start the class trial, and so we're just going to jump straight back into the class trial, which Sonia Nevermind says, which means it is possible to think that nobody here set the fire. And we're just gonna carry on.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
True. We should. In theory. But you're not, because it's too early for that. Too early.
Some kind of setup? Like what?
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
When? I don't remember. Then again, I am doing exams and all that, so everything is in the middle of cover.
That's our Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect.
Yeah. Of course.
Alrighty then. Let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Nope. Screw you.
Damn right it is!
Aww. A reason for the fire, huh? They're right. We need to clear that up first. Right, well, it's clearly the panels. Panels, there we go.
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
No.
The killer used some kind of setup.
Yes.
He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter.
No.
Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
Yeah.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some
Yeah.
way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
No.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
No.
Or perhaps opening the door caused intense wind pressure to tip over the lighter.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere with that.
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at
The killer used he lit the curtain on fire.
some kind of setup.
Did they use the oil?
They probably just based on the shape of it. It can stand up
If they tipped over, it could have ignited.
some way. Maybe they used invisible.
There should have been a way to tip.
Or perhaps opening the door caused.
I agree with that. There we go. I agree with that. We were doing.
I also
so well.
agree that opening the door is what started the fire.
Exactly. That's why we're doing well. And then you watch. Someone comes along and just messes it up. You watch, because that's basically the plot of like any game like this, or just any game in general. We start and then we don't, because someone messes up.
Just as I thought, it was the wind pressure. A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan.
No, not quite. I mean, close. Not really.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels.
There you go.
A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right?
Correct.
It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Yep.
Does that mean anything?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
Quite literally, actually.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
I mean, yeah.
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels.
Yeah.
So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second. And from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
Now you got it.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
True. What about noise?
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
Oh, I'm already a few steps ahead. Because you would hear the panels falling over. But the music was too loud to hear them as well.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
Let me guess. The music? Please tell me I'm on the right lines.
I see!
Yeah!
You're talking about the MP3 player, right?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
There you go. Got there eventually. This creepy music. I still hate this music. The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because their eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. Within that darkness, a loud hymnal blared through the warehouse at full volume. Hey, do you guys hear something? Yeah, it's really damn loud. Just Nagito like listening to this depressing crap. No, I'm not talking about the music. As if on cue, it started. Fire.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
But
Probably
those
not.
sounds weren't the only strange thing, right?
Wait.
Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
Was it? I mean, if you're talking about the fact that it was stuck and wouldn't open, what? Have you been asleep this time? Have you really been asleep during a class trial? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I can't impress everyone's warnings since I opened the door to the warehouse. Clatter. It's not opening. Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I knew it. It's a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay? Did I tell you it'd be fine? I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to open it slowly? Kinda ignored their protest and with a mighty kick the door flew open. BAM!
So the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
Correct.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
Well, that's true.
You don't look so sure.
Well,
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
I don't know. What's that got to do with the price of bacon anyway?
Is that a problem?
I was gonna say, is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
Right. That door's the only entrance to the warehouse. Oh, the killer couldn't have left.
I see! If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened,
It is a closed room mystery, I think it's called.
the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Or a locked room mystery, something like that at least.
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
Probably.
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
Maybe.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Don't say Nagito. Huh?
You don't mean...
Don't say Nagito. Don't you turn around and say Nagito. But if that's true, this murder...
Hajime? What do you mean?
She's gonna say Nagito, isn't she? person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that. It's gonna be Nagito, isn't it? 3, 2, 1.
This is my answer.
Yep.
What if it was Nagito?
Why? What are you saying he committed suicide? For what reason? What? Enormous what? Big what? Huge what?
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Maybe? What do you mean, maybe?
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
Big what? Enormous what? Huge what? Ginormous what?
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid.
Well, I mean,
His body was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget? Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
I mean, he is really twisted, but is he capable of doing that? Really? Right, I'm gonna bring you guys with me, because I'm going to put my phone on charge. I shouldn't. I don't know if you can hear me. Granted, I kind of need my phone in case anyone needs me or anything like that. You never know.
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember?
True.
Even for a creep like Nagito, it'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
That is very true.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
What? You changed personality, why?
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Why? Again, big what? Ginormous what? Huge what? Gigantic what?
Need to discuss?
Exactly, Brihiko. For what reason? I see. No reason because he isn't capable.
That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Again, he does have a point. Like he said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something. Torture and burn love, survive a knife, duct tape, monocle.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth? Or if you use your front tail?
Really?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with it. It'd be impossible if...
How about if you use... Or if you use your front tail?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
To actually tie up, that's obvious.
Tying just the leg, tying both arms would...
You couldn't do much with it. It'd be impossible if you were by...
How about if you use your teeth?
No. I do need it this time, 'cause this is tough. Oh, Jen on the spot, we'll have one. Just use the other port and the PlayStation to charge my phone while I'm live streaming. Ta-da! Problem solved. Because I don't know, I'm already struggling. What? Right, so if we look... Oh, let's have a look. Because I got nothing. I got nothing. Unless it's one of those ones where you have to press and hold triangle to get a new bullet. If it's that, then no, I'm never good at those ones. So it's like, yeah, just might as well just stop. Hey. Oh, is my Wi-Fi acting up? Turn on swap. Choose what? Loud noises. Right. Right, there we go. Burned rope. What? I'm not.
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just a leg, tying both
What?
arms would...
You couldn't do much with... It'd be impossible!
How about if you use your
Yeah.
teeth?
Burnt rope. Let's have a look here. Burnt rope. Negative is tight. Negative is right arm burnt on here. What? How
Or if
does
you
that
use your
work?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke? To actually tie up your...
No, that's wrong!
Apparently it's that, but I don't understand how it's that.
Hold on a sec. Isn't that premise flawed?
But I don't understand how.
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
Oh, really? Really? Oh my
That
god.
was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
Oh my god. Is that seriously it?
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that. But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that proves it.
Is there? Where's the burn? His right
I see.
sleeve? Right sleeve.
Take a close look at his right sleeve. Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree?
Right, and...
A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural.
Well, yeah, I
That
guess.
rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that should be the case.
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
Bad advice, Sonia. Bad advice. Bad advice.
that's definitely wrong.
Exactly, Fujiko, but that's my line. Don't take my line.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
No.
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up, the knife was still stabbed into it, you know?
How's it after?
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. Ah, that much is obvious.
True. If that's how we're looking at
Hajime, you tricked me. Give me back that Benjamin.
it. No. You don't let her just try to charge me now. She wants the money back. What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
No. Way to stab yourself in the right hand using only your right hand. It's okay. There's definitely an answer for this. Oh, no.
Even if Nagito's right hand was...
Ooh. Yeah, let's look at this first.
It's free.
Right, hang on, man.
How could he stab his right hand with his right hand?
Damn it.
If he threw the knife into the air and let the knife fall, could he stab his hand that way?
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Maybe he propped the knife somehow? And slammed his right hand down on it?
Propped it onto what?
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms
Monokuma
won't bend that
pushing.
easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
Come on, Akuma, plushie!
Even if Nagito's right hand was free,
I get it!
how could he stab his right...
If he threw the knife and let the knife, could he stab his hand that? Is he a throwing knife? Maybe he propped the knife somehow?
I agree with that.
I got that one! I got that one! I got that! Yeah!
A life-size Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach.
And blood around it.
He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it. If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And it also explains the mysterious blood on the plushie.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
Yeah.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
Wow.
Bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
Sure.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and destroy the evidence.
Yeah, then it was
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem.
About?
The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed suicide by impaling himself with a spear, right? If you think
Sure.
about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito. If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then, he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got
True.
penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
I can't. There's only so much you can take. Sonia... I don't know what to say anymore. Just innuendos galore, right? Kazuichi, no. No, I know what you're thinking. No.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Don't repeat it. Especially because we cheat.
Say it one more time. I need to record it. For reasons.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out!
Yeah, I was gonna say just stop,
Like she
please.
said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear.
Well, yes, it is.
It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stab into your right hand, while your left hand is tied up.
Again, yes.
So you're saying it's impossible?
Again, yes. How many times do I have to say?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
Don't think that's what she means.
You say you can't believe it? You just don't want to believe it, right?
I mean, there's that as well, but I can't believe it either.
That's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth. It's against the rules to interfere with everyone. If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
Monome's sassing me!
Ooh, Monokuma, get your big guns out.
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. So this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Of course that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
As Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone.
True.
No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
Again, true.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
Do you really think so?
But you said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
Not necessarily.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible.
Huh?
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
What kind of way?
I already know, it's literally the blood on the girder. There is no way Nagito's blood could have reached that high. No way. Not even if he just got some blood and flung it in the air. There's no way. That's the only possible explanation I can have for the blood on the girder.
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think about it together. That's how we made it this far up till now.
Everyone working together.
She's right. We made it through several ordeals up till now by doing that. Then, even
All right,
now...
let's do this.
Let's. It's obviously... Okay.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together and think this through.
When the spear stabbed Nagito, his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth? Or maybe he used his front tail. I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
What are you saying?
Blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
How did Nagito's... Let's work together. When the spear stabbed his right hand was...
He was only able to... But his left hand was...
Then that rules out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way...
He used his... Or maybe he used his... I know guys have tails.
A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
It is!
How did Nagito's... Let's work together. When the spear stabbed his right hand was...
He was only able to move his left...
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
Rules
That's
out
the
his
case.
left.
He used his, or maybe he used his. I know guys have tails.
The blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
How did Nagito stab? Let's work together. When the spear stabbed, his right hand was.
He was only able to, but his left hand was off.
Then that rules out his left hand.
It's literally just blood on the girder, but it's not there. I do think I'm probably thinking too far ahead, aren't I? Blood on the left hand. Ah, right.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear? Let's work together. When the spear stabbed, his right hand was.
He was only able to, but his left hand was. Then that rules out.
If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his, or maybe he used his. I know guys have tails.
The blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
How did Nagito?
It's
Let's work together.
obvious
When
when
the
you
spear
think
stabbed,
about
his
it.
right hand was.
He was only able to, but his left hand was off.
Then that rules out his left.
No, that's wrong.
There you go.
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
True.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up, you know?
But there was something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it's somewhat strange?
Right.
That settles the description of that blood around the middle joints of his fingers.
Yeah.
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
Well, actually, that's pretty true. Again, gripping something. There you go.
When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand.
I actually completely forgot about that. I'm already jumping to conclusions. Again, the only reason I thought that was because the blood was too high. He couldn't have just flung it. It couldn't have just splattered that high. The internet connection quality, it's not true because it was still recording. Still recording. So...
That's why there's such a strange looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
yeah.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
No.
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear.
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild.
True.
He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
That's right. That's the
Hey,
problem.
Chiaki, what do you think? Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle. Just like fixing an old TV.
Oh, I got it. Maybe.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear. I think.
We really need more confident expressions, Jackie.
However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
Which section of the cord?
I see.
That's it. Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord. There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
True.
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh?
Yeah.
And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
Again, yeah.
But why is it so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
No.
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki? I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved that easily.
Nagito was gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear?
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
That's a long plan name.
One step at a time? What does that mean?
It means going one step at a time. What the hell do you think it means?
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned.
Nagito was facing up, and the spear was stabbed through his stomach. So if it's just before that... That's it! Could it be the state of the spear and the fact that Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment? I put those together and think about it. I should be able to figure it out. Where the spear was and what state it was in before it stabbed Nagito. Oh no! No! What are options? X to accelerate. Ow! Break! Where was the spear just before he impaired Nagito? The cord was in his left hand, not the spear. What is this? What is this? What are these? What? Besides the spear, what else was above Nagito? A ceiling girder. There you go. So as I say, the blood on the girder. I could have told you that. Come on, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. The problem with this is I have to concentrate a lot. What item connects both the spear and the ceiling girder? The spear's cord. It's the only thing that was actually long enough to reach all the way up there.
It's all coming together.
Thankfully.
The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular? In the middle of the air?
Yeah!
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
What even is that? I don't even know what that is.
That'd be awesome, but he probably used the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
Exactly.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling. So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
Again, exactly.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
Yep. I'm ready for the breakdown in 3, 2, 1.
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was. Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Furihiko's getting an angry baby.
Then, this is for real?
For real.
He really committed suicide?
Yep.
Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
Yep.
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping the spear?
Yep.
That spear should not have stabbed Nagito until the very end. Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
Right.
Did he put the duct tape on his mouth, too?
Yeah.
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far?
Yeah.
That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself?
To confuse us.
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake.
Or to confuse us. It's Nagito we're caught talking about here. What do you expect?
By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer. His goal was to get us all executed.
And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again?
Yep.
Did he want us to die that bad?
Probably. He probably just wanted to be a stepping stone for hope. Bagels. Bagels will rule the world! Ah!
That's messed up. It's seriously so messed up.
That's Nagito.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
That's weird. Jeez. Now I'm starting to feel a little sympathetic toward him. How stupid of me. I completely underestimated his capacity for malice, at least. A mind-boggling malice that threatens us even after he's died. That's the form his malice took. I had forgotten all about it until now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at me.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the traitor, right?
Right.
Whatever became of that?
I said that's true.
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place?
Because he didn't know who it was, even then.
If he's killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
I bet the bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick.
Yeah.
He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other. And tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Again, yes.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
I don't know.
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
I mean, you have a point there, to be fair.
You are right, I suppose.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion. Bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so we'd be executed.
That should be okay, right? Right?
What? You're not satisfied yet?
Probably not, no.
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense.
Such as?
It's probably just my imagination.
Again, such as? I love this music. Again, another piece of good work from the team who made Danganronpa. Why? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. I don't think it's a mistake to assume that Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is? Or...
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
No.
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
Come on.
You are right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh?
course not. Too early.
That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to read such a happy ending, right?
Sure.
Then it's okay? It's okay to say, you've decided on the killer? Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
Yeah, well, time for this, you know. This is every time. There's always some interruption. Oh my God, just get on with it already.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but...
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is.
True. But actually, no. Wait, what? Huh?
No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But... I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
What? Who the traitor is?
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
Actually, that's true.
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense. And it relates to Nagito's death.
Which is?
Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Which is? Oh my God, something related to Nagito's death. And something that even he couldn't have messed with.
You're gonna keep going? Here I thought we were finally finished.
The sound of disappointment in his voice. Something related to Nagito's death. Torture runes. No. Torture runes, burn rope, survival knife, blood on left hand, duct tape, spear, going out, monkey rope.
Crap!
It's not that.
I see! Is it about the Monokuma file?
I was thinking that, but I thought... I was just pure guessing. I have a feeling it's the time. The fact that it's noon sharp.
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
Victims to command and negative command discovered I think it's the fact that it's noon sharp. The suspicious part of the Monokuma file Jackie's worried at is... what is it? What's hidden in the Monokuma file? No! CA. Cause of death! Oh, it's too many letters! my god, there's too many letters! There's just way too many letters. Damn it! Definitely cause of death. Definitely cause of death. There was just way too many letters there. Way too many letters.
We will never give up!
Oh, already messing up. Already messing up. Cause. I don't even care. There's way too many. Cause. Of. Cause of. There's been no A's. Yes, there is. Cause of death. Thank God that's over. There was way too many letters during that. Way too many letters.
In this particular case's Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death.
Not only is there a spear stuck to death, furthermore there is laceration.
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
That is true.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was the cause of death.
Was it?
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, Monokuma, I plead the fifth!
No.
Here he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, Monami.
But even during Gundam's case, and before during Mikan's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Are you saying that applies this time too?
Yeah, probably.
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death? Are you suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place!
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but it's not just a suicide. Come to think of it.
Huh?
Did Nagito really Really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
Are you sticking up for him?
No.
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations. And that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Huh?
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily?
True.
I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
Again, true.
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh?
I don't think that's the case.
Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice.
Well, yeah, I guess there's that.
I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote?
No.
I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied, even if it's just to be safe.
You're right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
We do.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it.
This is friggin' annoying.
Well, yeah.
But if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out.
Thank you.
Hey, Monokuma! You heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait!
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything should be all right.
Yes.
That's what I believe.
Oh, splendid. You guys are so splendid right now.
Thank you, Teach.
That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you.
Because again, technically, in the grand things, Monami/Usami, who used to be, is still our teacher. Weird, yes, I know. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you. Huh. Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. The absolute hope that can overcome any despair. He said he was yearning for that. Then this situation we're in might be the thing that Nagito wanted all along. No, never mind. I'm probably overthinking. Break. Class trial suspended.
No!
And this is where I'm going to leave off for today's episode, because we are having an intermission, so this is where I'm going to leave off for today's episode and carry on the trial tomorrow, because I think it's only fair that way, you know, break it up into sections. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, please leave a like and subscribe. Click that bell icon to be notified when I start live streaming and when I upload. And please share with everyone that you know. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!